Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's episode we've got a very special car to show you. It is the brand new Dacia Duster. Ollie's over here as well. What are you excited about today, Ollie?
Well, today we're going to take out the Duster on the UK roads. I'm going to give it an honest road test. On top of that, I've been driving it all week. There's good bits, there's bad bits. There's a couple of features that no one actually talks about. I'm going to share with you, and we're going to talk about trim levels, and I'm going to let you know what is the best one to get. If that sounds good, keep watching. Just to let you guys know, we release an episode every single Friday. Next week, we check out the new Vauxhall Corsa Electric, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the episode. The Duster is now in its third generation. The story began back in 2010 and it's still going strong. This SUV has a serious fan base. In fact, it was once Europe's best-selling SUV back in 2022. Not bad for a budget beast. And here's a twist for you that you might not know. Outside of Europe, the Duster wears different badges. In places like Latin America, Russia, Asia and the Middle East, even Australia, it's sold as the Renault Duster. And wait for it, the first gen Duster was even rebadged as the Nissan Terrano in India and the CIS region. Talk about an SUV with an identity crisis, or should we say, global appeal. Let's talk about some stats then with this Duster. This one is the full hybrid 140. I've got a 1.6 litre petrol engine with a small 1.2 kilowatt hour battery and electric motor. You can get a 1.2 petrol. That's called the mild hybrid, and you can get that in four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. This full hybrid 140 is front-wheel drive. If you get the essential trim, which starts at like £19,000, you get a 1 litre petrol, and it's called bi-fuel. It's got a tank for LPG and then also a tank for your petrol. And I think you can get something like 800 miles out of that. Some good options. We're driving the 1.6 litre full hybrid, 140 brake horsepower, 10.1 seconds, 0 to 62. MPG is 55.3 on this, Dacia say, and this one is in the Journey trim. Let's talk about the Duster's boot space then. You've got 430 litres here. Now it's a little bit smaller than the normal Duster because this is the full hybrid version, but you've got some customization here, a little bit of space underneath, and then you've got these boot panels that come out. I think might be multifunctional. Don't know if this is for wet products or if it's just they've saved on money not covering it up, but either way you can use that as a partition and slot that in here, which is pretty handy. You haven't got a cubby this side, but you have that side. 430 litres of boot space. What do you think? Is that big enough for you? One cool feature that you can get with the Duster actually that not many people talk about is that you can actually sleep in it. They offer a special In Nature Sleep Pack Plus, which is about £1,740 you can spec on the Dacia website. So very handy. For a budget-friendly car, you can sleep in it. I think that's a cool option. One really cool thing that you get with this Duster is they have something called YOUCLIP, and it is Dacia's accessories where you can pay for them off their website and then clip them on their mounts throughout the car. 2 in the boot, 1 here and 1 in the front of the car. You can have phone holders, iPad holders, cup holders with lights. Now, if you actually go onto a website called Thingiverse, you can download these files and use on CAD, SolidWorks or CATIA, whatever you use, and 3D print your own accessories. I don't know how Dacia will feel with me telling you this, but what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below and go and check it out. If you've got a 3D printer, I do know people who own Dusters have 3D printed their own accessories. And again, I think that's just another cool little feature in this car.
Quick pause on the video just to share with you some of our latest links. We've got some exclusive members content for you. So we're going to bring brand new Lease deals and some car news for you and some exclusive shorts as well. We've also got a brand new Patreon. So if you want your name featured in our videos, please sign up and follow the link in the description, as well as some brand new merch. We've got some cool designs I want you to check out and let us know what you think.
The first thing you want to do when you jump in your Duster is turn off all the driving settings, no bings and bongs. And thankfully, they have given us a shortcut button. So all you need to do is press this button right here where the driving assistance button is. Press it once. It says press again for your safety personal settings. Press it again and then it turns off. Now you can customize your personal settings in the infotainment and driving assistance. All I've done is hit configure my safety perso, it says, and I've just turned them all off. So I know every time I'm using my settings, all the bings and bongs are off. And honestly, that is really handy. Now, there are no modes in the Dacia Duster like a sport mode. It's just an auto mode really and an eco mode. That's it, streamlined. When you put your foot down like this, that's when you start hearing that engine just kind of shouting at you, don't push me too hard, Oliver. And I think you don't really want to go any less than this full hybrid 140 because, you know, this hasn't got a ton of performance. I can only imagine what the 130 would be like to drive. Now, it's okay every now and again on the move. You feel that electric motor just kick in and help you out when you want to make those overtakes. But when you put it on eco mode, you really do feel that contrast of not having that full throttle and the car, you know, not changing through the gears that well. So I think it can be a bit loud. I think in a long journey, you probably notice the engine noise a little bit more, and it might annoy you, but then again, you know, it might not. You have an eco mode button over on the right hand side. When you put this on, immediately you do feel the throttle be a lot less responsive, but this is going to maximize your MPG. And Dacia put out a statement that said they say this hybrid is 20% more fuel efficient than any other competitor. That's quite a big statement. And they say 80% of village and town driving, only the electric vehicle side of it can be used, which is pretty good stat-wise. But when you're in the eco mode, this is when you're going to get your 55.3 mpga that they state you can get on the website. And then it's got a really funky little eco monitor. It's like different levels of leafs. If you're in the middle leaf, it goes orange, you're giving it too much. Then you've got the middle one, and then the blue leaf, which I'm in at the moment, can help you stay super economical. And then you've also actually got another setting on your DigiDash. By changing it down, you've got an eco, a charge when you lift off, and you've got it in B mode. So you've got a B mode on your lever as well, which doesn't bring you to a complete stop. Like a one pedal driving, it still pushes you along about 5 miles per hour. But when you've got it in that B, that will help regen back into that small battery as well. And you've got a few little options to see if you're being economical. Now, I did reset at the start of the journey of filming today, and I'll tell you at the end what we are averaging MPG wise. But at the moment, I'm taking it off eco mode, and I want to see what this Duster can do on some B roads. Oh, okay, that's got a bit of grip on the front wheel drive there. Now the steering is very light, and when you take it off eco mode, it doesn't stiffen the steering up. So it's so light, which is great for lower speeds, but I'll tell you what, I could do with a little bit more weight, but I'm driving it a little bit more than what maybe a normal Duster person would do. What I think is so incredible with this car is how it is containing the body lean. I just thought there'd be a bit more roll to the car, but it's pretty composed, you know, and I can hear the engine. It's quite funny. I love how this engine's kind of going, Oliver, stop it, stop pushing me. And I'm saying, no, give me more, give me more. I think it's pretty flat. You know, we're having a bit of fun. We've had a tough day at work. We're on a B road, and we're just pushing it through these corners, and the grip is good, and it just feels in control. It's just got a good balance to this car. When you think about the price point, I'm just so impressed with it. And you don't really notice the gear changes, unless sometimes when you're pushing it hard, the whole systems can, every now and again, just get a bit confused. But most of the time it has been good. But I would say, the lean, you can feel it. I mean, it is there, but you can just feel the whole car battle. And wow. I mean, I don't expect many Duster owners to absolutely thrash the pants off of this, but I think we've just proved there that this car can have some fun on a B road, and it's very capable.
I've actually driven this car for a whole week in another country, so
Yeah.
you know, we've got loads of evidence that we're like definitely reliable YouTubers. Okay, so let's show you around this Duster and give you an overview of what it looks like. I do want to hear your opinions down in the comments as well, what you think about this car. So let's start off with the front. Now, it's had a bit of a redesign, hasn't it? So
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty mean.
I think it's cool. They started in 2010, Gen 1, then there was Gen 2, then there's the Gen 3. This, to me, just looks like something that would go on space exploration, like a moon buggy. All of this is absolutely fab. And the bonnet, the guy who designed, or girl, who designed the bonnet needs an award. It's so angular and... like,
it does look good. When you're sat in there, you can just see the creases
Yeah.
in the bonnet, which just, I don't know, just makes you feel happy, doesn't it? But this front end, it does look mean, because these lights, look, just comes in with the Dacia logo there. I just think it looks quite masculine, doesn't it?
So you've got, what I really like about this car is the design language works really well throughout. You've got these Y shapes, and they go into the wheels, they go the rear lights, they also inside with the vents. It marries up so well with the car, and I think that's a great little feature that the car has, those Y elements.
I agree. And the fact that it locks and unlocks
Keyless entry
as
on
soon
this
as you
one.
move 2 foot away from it is sort of annoying, but also good. Let's move on to these rims then. I think they look decent. I don't say that very often, to be honest, about a car.
Again, 18 inches, right? Nice thick sidewall, and you've got that Y element as well. So it all just marries up, and the Dacia logo, it looks like, do you remember 2 tuning forks? You know when you're in science, you used to whack one, put it in water, and the water would jump out? That's what it looks like, 2 tuning forks.
Interesting. But yeah, it just looks quite rugged, doesn't it? And these look quite cool, the little black cladding bits, but they do have sort of a recycled logo to make it look a bit like a bin.
So basically, these are made with 20% recycled materials. It's called Starkle as well, so you've got a little bit of a fleck to it, and they call it dyed in mass. So basically, when it goes in the injection mould, it comes out, and if you scratch it, because there's no paint, it shouldn't show up the scratches. But I'll tell you what, it's quite easy to scratch.
You just scratched it with your fingernail.
You can actually scratch it with your fingernail. Let's not do it too much, because obviously it's a press car, but it does look a little bit better than some plastics. It comes straight out of the mould.
I feel like 20% is not quite enough.
So anyway, it comes straight out of the mould and goes straight onto the car. It's not, there's no finishing needed.
These door handles, you see them quite a bit more now, don't you, in the side door handles? Sort of in the sort of window line, which is interesting. And these roof rails look quite rugged as well.
With the door handles, like you say, good for drag, but I have found a bit of a problem with them. Yeah?
What? Go on.
Right. I'm a child. Door handles normally here, right? Dad, I can't get it.
Children don't need to open doors.
Kids can't. What are you on about? Of course they do. Some kids, or people with, not blessed with height, Adam, you can't reach that.
I can just.
You show me you open that. You can't reach that.
I can just about reach that. Moving round to the back. Now I feel like this is probably its worst angle in my opinion. I'm not
really?
sure. I'm just not sure about this. Proportions of like the bottom bumper. I just feel like this is quite bulbous at the bottom there, and I don't know, it's just.
I thought you liked it bulbous. I like the rear. Look again, little Dacia name in there, the Y spoke lights. It just, you've even got a little bit of a spoiler. I think it looks good, and you know what? This colour is sandstone, and I would spec this colour at £650. For once, I've got a press car with a colour that I'd actually choose.
It does look quite rugged, quite off-roady, but I don't think it's much of an off-roader.
Well, no, they do a four-wheel drive option, which is actually £750 cheaper than that, but you can only get it in the mild hybrid 130. But again, it's not going to be as quick as this, it's going to be heavier, not as good efficiency. But do you need four-wheel drive? That's what you need to ask yourself, because here in the UK, we're obsessed with big wheels and four-wheel drive, and we don't need it. Okay, I want to talk about trim levels. In my honest opinion, I'm going to tell you the best trim level to go for to maximise your value for the Duster. So we've got Essential. If you go for Essential, it's around £19,000. You don't get an infotainment, you get steel wheels, you get that 1 litre biofuel fuel system with LPG. Now, if you go for the Expression, that's the one to go for. You get your digital dash, you get your infotainment, you don't get keyless entry. They all come with material seats. I quite like leather seats, to be honest. And actually, I don't like these bolsters. I think the bolstered could be better on the seats. Just something I picked up on. Now this one's the Journey trim. This one's at 26k. That's a bit of a jump from the Expression trim, which is at 21,800. And then the Extreme trim, you get, your heated seats, your heated steering wheel. I wouldn't really recommend that. I really think Expression is where it's at. You still get your sensors and your rear camera. This gets multi-camera there, but I have seen a lease deal for the top trim level, Extreme, and that was £304, 5k miles per year, four-year deal, and I think it was like £3,000 up front. But if you're looking to PCP or buy one, I think if you could get an Expression trim, because that's 21,000, you get a lot of car for that value. That would be my pick. You let me know what you think is the best trim in the comments. Let's talk about things I like and what I don't like then. Things I like, I love how easy this car is. And because it's the Journey trim with the keyless entry, jumping in and out of the car has just been so easy with the key in my pocket. When you walk away, it locks. I find that really helpful. The brakes are good too. So about 15 millimeters down, you start hitting that brake and you can start grabbing those brake discs. I've been really impressed with the brakes. Been impressed overall with the driving dynamics as well. Things I don't like, I might have mentioned before, I think the bolsters could be a bit better, a bit more support in the seat. There's no light in the vanity mirror at night time. Again, the steering wheel has got some button spaces. I feel like the volume control is a bit hard to, on this stalk you can do it, but it'd be great to have a volume control on the wheel, or even if you're not going to put the volume on the wheel, put the eco mode or the e-save button on the wheel. Because if you notice, when I'm looking for the eco mode and other bits, my head kind of goes there and then you've got to use your fingers to go and like jab it. I feel like the wheel could be utilised a little bit more because there's some space there. And looking at lease deals, you could £50 more a month, you probably could get a much better car, especially if you look at ones that might be in stock and ready to go.
Right, so moving on to the interior of the car, and I just wanted to start off with, you know, the door cards. It is completely plastic. There is no nice materials in here, including all the fabric seats with the nice Dacia logo there. You got plastic everywhere, plastic floor mats, plastic everywhere. Love plastic, don't they?
Yeah, do you know what? I think it'd be really out of order for anyone to come in here though and just say, oh, you know, the interior's not up to scratch. You've got to remember, this car goes from £19,000 to like 27. People that are going to get this car, lease it, buy it, you're going to expect this.
I think if you're paying 27, you can say it's not great.
Well, yeah, I guess you've got a bit of you know, what's the word?
Point?
An argument. Yeah, point argument. But again, though, I don't think you should be buying the 27k version, and we'll talk about that later on.
Let me show you around the interior so you know what to expect. Now, it is quite plasticky, but it's very functional. So let me just show you around. It's also, I want to talk to you about dimensions, because it does feel quite tall, but not very wide or roomy. Like the dash is quite close to you. Does that make sense? It's quite close to you. It's quite a big dash.
Yeah, it doesn't go too far back, does it? You get a lot of the bonnet quite quickly.
Exactly, and you don't feel very high up, I would say.
I would say, if you look at the Generation 2, all of the windows are a lot shallower, like the front windscreen, and because there's no sunroof that comes in the Bigster, what you were saying, Adam, as well, the windows are smaller, so it can feel quite dark and claustrophobic in it. I wouldn't say it's like the roomiest.
Let's start off with the middle then. So this infotainment is sort of okay. I mean, the colours are quite nice. I feel like the layout is okay. It's functional. I wouldn't say it's the best infotainment in the world.
No.
But it's usable, and it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so that's good to see. But what is also good to see is buttons that you can actually press, and you don't have to go through the screen or anything. It's all just very quick, and the buttons work very well. And I don't know, the design's okay. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think those buttons are exactly what you would expect if you wanted like the cheapest buttons. They go up and down, which is good, little satisfying clicks. With the infotainment, you've got a 10.1 inch, and it comes on, it doesn't get on the Essential trim, but you get it on the other ones up. And what I would say is, it's quite interesting. It's a bit of a happy accident maybe, I don't know, but the colour green, you see this? You've got a bit of green throughout the cabin. That is the best colour, less eye strain, so I don't know if the designers have done that on purpose and introduced the green colour. Now, there's one thing with the infotainment that I have found probably the worst thing. I want you to time how long it takes for the sat-nav to come on. Ready? Turn it this way. Let's put the sat-nav. Where is it? Here we go. So it's going to home. Sat-nav. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you might want to make sure you do this before you set off.
Get a cup of
now,
tea.
Get a cup of tea, have a lie down.
It's on, there you go.
Right, not quite yet. There we go. Okay. Now, I haven't had any problems with the sat-nav. You know, once you key it in and it's booted up, it's not a problem. But it is a bit laggy every now and again. Now, we could, you know, say, oh, it's not good enough. But again, with the price point, if you're really into your tech and infotainment, you're probably looking elsewhere. Everywhere else, it's quite good. I mean, look, it's got this as well. We've got an air quality feature, so you can press that, the air purifier, and then it'll start going up in percentage and make sure that you're breathing the finest air. Great if you've got allergies, like me and Adam. I think that's a cool little feature. Probably don't get that on the lower trims.
Blimey, it's blowing a gale in here. Wireless charge pad here as well.
So it is usable, but you can, like Adam said, CarPlay, Android Auto, and it's wireless. So if you're really struggling with that, to negate that, just put on your wireless CarPlay.
Moving on to the steering wheel. You love the steering wheel, don't you?
I do. To be honest, it's lumpy and bumpy in the right places. It's buttons, all right, and they work. The only thing is, there's a couple of free buttons here that I would like to have the Eco mode and the eSave mode on. And I didn't know where the volumes was. There's this stalk over here where your volume is, and there's a few other buttons here, and a little wheel on the back that you wouldn't even know about.
It's hiding. It's hiding, isn't it?
I thought the volume was only up here, which is a bit, you know, these little buttons. That feels like a bit of an afterthought as well, like just chucking that on top of the infotainment. Again,
but it does work down there. But
it does work.
There's a few things like the assistance and stuff. I just feel like the buttons aren't quite in the right places. But I'm sure you would get used to it over time. You do have a digital dash as well, which is decent. There's not like too much customization going on there though. It's all quite standard.
There is one thing I'm not a big fan of, and it is this handle. when I shut this, the ergonomics of the handle don't really fit in my hand. So when I grab it, it's a bit awkward, and this bit can pinch your skin because there's a little bit of a gap. So you squeeze it like that and you squeeze skin. It's just showing that budget side of the car.
Anyway, moving on to the middle, you've got a little bit of storage here with 2 USB-Cs and a 12 volt there, which is pretty decent. You've got this tiny little gear knob and just random cavities, like what are you going to put in there?
Hey, I've got an idea.
What? You can put, the key doesn't even fit in there, so that's really handy. You've got 2 cup holders and a bit of a cavity in there, but it's just a bit of an awkward, like this is a bit awkward.
Also, yeah, if you put like a drinks bottle, you won't be able to put too tall a one in there.
No. Door bins, they're quite narrow, but you can get a decent sized bottle in there. And yeah, I mean, you could probably lose stuff in there. It's quite deep at this area down here.
All right, you've been out. It's night time. You park up. You need to check your face. Maybe you're on a date or something. You're going in somewhere. You pull your sun visor down. You pull this open, getting ready to hit you with some light. There's no vanity mirror light. I don't know why there's no vanity mirror light. There's not one in the passenger side anyway. So at night time, you know, these are useless. I've got Adam with me in the back of this Duster. I want to know, what are the comfort levels like there while we're actually on the road driving? Adam, talk to me.
Okay, so I'm trying to give you an overview of what it's like in the back of this Duster. Now, you can, I think, fit 3 people in this. Like, it's big enough, so it's definitely got some room. But in the back, there's just not much to really talk about. You've got 2 USB-Cs down in the middle with a little mount that you might be able to put something on. You've also got this tiny little bit of storage, but there's a little bit of hump in the floor. But like, there's no cup holders, there's no vents, there's nothing to really talk about. There's nothing to play with. But these windows are quite small. The seats, they're material and they're like okay. They're not super springy, not super comfy. It's an okay seating position in the back. I don't really know what else to say. The front seats aren't too obtrusive, so you can see around them okay. It's not too dark in the back here. It's actually an okay place to be. Headroom's fairly good. You've got plenty of room there. Knee room is okay. I haven't got loads and loads, but it's definitely enough for most back passengers. But yeah, that's it really in the Duster. There's not much else to say.
The steering is extremely light, so very easy to manoeuvre and park. And I did a turn in the road earlier and I was really impressed. I was like, oh, I think I've got around this in one. So that's something I've noticed. The steering's super light. Okay, I want to hear your thoughts on this. We're going to talk about some competition and I want to know what you would have. So this trim level, the Journey Duster, starts at £26,530. You could have a Citroen C5 Aircross, £28,380. What about a Skoda Karoq? That's at £30,940. Or a VW T-Cross, £27,880. Or a car that I'm yet to try, the MG ZS Hybrid Plus, and that's £22,495. And it's got a slightly bigger battery too at 1.83 kilowatt hours. Let me know what you would pick out of those. The Duster is built on Renault's CMF-B platform, the same one used in the Renault Clio, Captur and Jogger and the Big Star. It's also available with 4x4 and it's got 217 millimeters of ground clearance. That's higher than the old one. So you can get the mild hybrid 130 4x4 and that comes in at £25,770, which is £760 less than this Journey trim. One thing I will say is the cruise control works really well. It's not adaptive, so it won't set a distance from the car in front, but literally you press the set 1 button or the minus button on here and it is on straight away. And then you've got another button here. If you press that, that will do the speed limit set for that road. So very quick and easy, touch of a button. And then there's a button here that says 0. If you want to turn it off, you just press that and you're done. It's that easy. So the cruise control, really quick, really easy to activate. One thing I want to share with you is the quality of the cameras. Now this is the Journey trim, we've got the multi-view camera, but it isn't the best in the world. You can see it's a bit pixelated, a bit blurry, but I think it does a job. These are the other options. That's the front camera, but there's a massive bush there. And then you've got this, which is handy. Again, you can see your wheels, so if you're close to a curb, that'll work. And there you go, on that side. But I think we can all agree, it's not the best, but you know, I think it will do a job. One amazing feature that I'm really impressed with is that it's got an e-save mode. You come over here, you put this on. Now this battery's small. It's a 1.2 kilowatt hour battery. Some plug-in hybrid vehicles don't have a save function, and yet this full hybrid has an e-save. Now all that does is you can put it on. Now it's going to save my state of charge. So later on, if I'm going to come to a village or if I need help going up a hill, I can turn my e-save off and then deplete my little 1.2 kilowatt hour battery. But I just think the way that Dacia have integrated a save option into that battery element is genius, because there's so many other plug-in hybrid vehicles with bigger batteries that don't have a save or recharge option. So what that does now, literally, it's stopped where my battery is at, and I've got like 4 segments on my display, and it will charge it up. And I've used it a few times just to test it out, and it charges it up so quick, and then I can choose when I turn it off and then deplete my battery. I think it's great. Now, at the start of today's episode, I reset the trip for our film day. We spoke about MPG. Dacia say 55.3 MPG is what you can get, and I think that's pretty realistic. I have had some spirited drives, and we were driving the car a little bit hard when we did some filming shots of the car, and I have got 49.8 MPG, and I'm pretty happy with that. That's, you know, 5 miles off, give or take, the MPG. I think you could probably get more. Any Duster owners, if you're watching this video, let us know what your MPG is in the comments.
Okay, so that's been our episode on this Dacia Duster. Now, we do actually quite like this car. It is cheap, it has got very good MPG, the engine is nice, and it's a hybrid for a very low price. So what more could you ask for from a car? Ollie, do you like it?
I do. I think if you get it in the Expression trim at 21,800, it is a great option. Sandstone colour, 650. I don't think you can do a better colour than this. It's great. It's got great MPG. The car can do so many things. I see why so many people love the Duster. Let me know what you think about the car in the comments down below. What would you have over this car? Let me know. As always, throw us a like if you like the episode. Get subbed to Car Chat TV, and we will see you on the next one.
If you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for watching. I've just popped up 2 more videos on your screen that you also may like. If you do watch one, let me know what you think.